Good afternoon from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 56th day of the 2012 USBC Open Championships. Today's squad consists of 45 teams representing 31 cities and 17 states. And now, through the center aisle, we present the bowlers on today's squad. Brunswick, we're ready to begin competition.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matt Cannizzaro, Media Relations Manager at the USBC Open Championships. Alongside me today, Emil Williams Jr., the heart of this operation here in our media office. Emil, what's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I appreciate you coming in a little bit early today to check out these two solid teams. Some good resumes we're going to look at today. Some very talented players, and as you saw there, Stefanie Nation, Team USA member. We'll have plenty to say about her in the next 3 hours. We are behind lanes 29 and 30 at the Baton Rouge River Center. This is a 2:30 team event at the 2012 USBC Open Championship, so thank you everybody for joining us. We'll have the rundown of the lineups here in just a couple of minutes. For now, we'll just get situated and get our first look at each of these players. All right, Emil, frame one almost in the books here. Let's get the rundown. Who are we watching today at the Baton Rouge River Center?
Watching two teams, the Entire Nation and the Big Johnson. The Entire Nation up top on 29 by Kristen Borzinski to lead things off, followed by Steven Rodriguez of Newport Richey, Florida. Borzinski, hailing out of Arlington, Texas. Andy Mortensen in the 3-hole. Steve Burton and Brian Lowson rounds out the 5 for the Entire Nation. And on lane 30, Big Johnson, led by Stefanie Nation, 8-time Team USA member, current Team USA member now, 8 consecutive. We'll talk more about her as the show rolls on. Jim Stevens out of Neosho, Missouri. Scott Monteleone, Sean Thon, and Chris Johnson, former PBA Rookie of the Year, on lane 30. So, once again, some talented players in the house this afternoon, Matt. Feels kind of different. Usually, so far, most of our team broadcasts have been at night. A little early, but should expect the same performance.
A little early because you go to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning after you get done here. And you're still snoozing at this time. But here we are. We like to mix it up a little bit. So 2:30 team event. And we've got a pretty good mix of players today. We've got 2 ladies, a pair of left-handers. And we're going to see a little bit of everything. So everybody sit tight. Thanks for joining us. I imagine it's a pretty nice day. Friday afternoon. A lot of folks off work today. Probably playing some golf, watching some golf. But we appreciate you joining us. I know our buddy Tyson Brannigan down there in Louisville, Texas, home of our regular all events leader. Ryan Whitney. Tyson mentioned earlier that he's got a busy day ahead of him at the shop there at AMF Louisville Lanes. He's gonna watch some golf and watch the Rangers and watch the D-backs, and I know for a fact he's tuning into our broadcast right now.
Time to fit us.
So
what a guy.
So yeah, and
I appreciate that.
I think somewhere in there he might drill the ball or do some actual work. So he'll earn his paycheck from Dino there. But Tyson, thanks for joining us as well. Watching some hometown folks. Of course, Arlington, Texas, not too far from Louisville, Fort Worth, Dallas. It's all the same.
Great sports day.
No kid.
All that stuff you just mentioned, the Masters, for those in Texas. Rangers opening day. Appreciate it if Mr. Brannigan would go ahead and give me an update every now and then as the Rangers are playing the White Sox.
So that's an easy one for the Rangers then. So good opening day win for them.
I wouldn't doubt it this season.
Looks like Butch Cooper's got a busy day as well. He's checking in from probably down the road somewhere, checking on the two hometown favorites, Scott Monteleone and Sean Thon from the general area. So imagine there'll be some local fans checking it out in the bleachers as well. There's a local fan right there, Sean Ryan. He's about as local as you can get. He resides about 100 yards away in the Hammer booth. He's checking out his buddy Steven Rodriguez, also from Newport Richey, Florida, and Stefanie Nation, his former collegiate teammate at the University of Central Florida. So we've got it all for you today. So thanks for tuning in. Now, as we're early in the team event here, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in practice. Now, we talk a lot about strategy, breaking the lanes down. And it's real important. It's key, actually. And we saw some things go real wrong for teams that maybe didn't employ that strategy. And these guys, right off the bat, it looked like it was kind of a free-for-all early on. Go out there and get comfortable, play your game. And I guess the plan there is to get to the pocket, knock some pins down. At least that's what it looked like early to me. Emil, maybe you'll agree. That it just kind of, we didn't see the same strategy we saw maybe with John Gaines the other night and his team, and Eric Vermilia and his Team USA guys a couple of weeks back there, playing 5, 6, 7, trying to break it down. What do you think?
Well, it didn't look uniform to start, of course, but like you said, I think it was probably more so to get comfortable, get out on the lanes. It might be some nerves involved in that, so just get the ball off your hand. And you see it hit the pins a couple of times, and then you start to, do what you originally set out to do. But I had a chance to talk with Stephanie earlier, and she said their goal was to just kind of start out playing right and not do anything too crazy. She said last year they were kind of all over the place, so this year they wanted to make a conscious effort to stay in one area to begin and, kind of follow it and, kind of take what the pattern gives them at a particular time. So as far as practice is concerned, they're right of where they were in practice. So.
Well, and you're going to have to, I don't want to say assume, but just based on, the play of the ladies, they're generally going to be a little bit straighter, further right anyway. And the two lefties, of course, not a factor in breaking down the right side of the lane. So then at that point, the rest of the righties can likely move in a little bit and kind of boom it off of the area that the ladies were playing. So interested to see how all of that develops. It's probably the most unique mix we've seen so far this year on one of our broadcasts. So we'll just sit tight and wait for it to develop and see how things go. So far, the entire nation not throwing a whole lot of strikes here through 2 frames. A few more for the Big Johnson. Can we say that? We're going to have to say that for the next 3 hours. So
I was a little skeptical about saying it, but
we'll get around it if we can. We'll just say Chris Johnson's team.
It's their team name, but Chris Johnson's team is a good name.
Led by Chris Johnson.
But I think that's what they're trying to do. Be patient. Try to stay right as long as they can, and just kind of get a feel of what's happening out there. As far as the equipment is concerned, however, Stefanie mentioned she'll probably start out with her Pursuit, Ebonite Pursuit, and possibly go to a hammer taboo, original taboo.
Those are two balls we've seen a lot of in the last couple broadcasts for sure. Sean Lee we saw the other night throwing a taboo and then a jet black taboo. So found some success. Shot 250 in the opening game, then had the front 10 for 286 in game 2. Shot 737 in the team event. Moved into the top 10 in all events. It was 2082 total, I believe, and so a solid performance there. And Stefanie, of course, well, she's a very talented player. It doesn't matter what she throws, she's going to knock him down. So. And I imagine while we have this chance, there's going to be a lot of people wondering about the last broadcast. I would say one of our best, of course, and technical difficulties on YouTube's end has it stuck in processing. So if any of you out there are curious about when that's going to be posted or would like to see it, just know that YouTube's working on it, and as soon as they have it, they will post it, hopefully soon. Hopefully that's not lost forever. That was a great one. One for the resume, I'm sure, for the clip file.
Indeed.
But so there's the update on that. Tell all your friends. And I did mention that on Facebook last night on the Matt Canizaro fan page. I know it seems kind of strange to be saying that.
Third person.
we have cleared 300 fans. How about that?
How about that? Congratulations.
That's a milestone, dude.
There's a Sox fan.
Yeah, but he's here watching bowling.
How about that?
Because he can't stand to watch the White Sox
the
right
dedication?
now. He knows what's going to happen, so he might as well watch some good bowling at least.
To be quite honest, and first of all, I know it takes a long time for a lot of people to kind of get loose. You get 10 minutes of practice here at the team event. But so far, a couple of bowlers out of the group don't really look loose just yet.
Well, that was Scott Monteleone on the right lane there, the big double. He's again, he's a local standout.
So some local flavor.
And some more local flavor now up on the right lane as well. Sean Thon. Just a second, we'll take a look at the scoreboard. So in case you missed it, get a shot of who we're watching today at the Baton Rouge River Center. Now stepping on the left, Brian Losey. Rough start for him, pair of open frames to get things going here. Let's see what frame number 3 brings for the right-hander.
That was a good shot from Thon. Mentioned earlier in practice, it looked like they were a little everywhere, just about, and for the most part, looks like they've all kind of migrated to the right. And a great shot from Don. Definitely, that shot was outside of 10.
And Losey continues to struggle. Lucky to get 8 on that shot, and terrible break for Chris Johnson. 7-10 on the right, so that was on a double. We've seen some classic Open Championships moments start off kind of slow. Long way to go. It's a long road, 3 games. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's take a look at Chris Johnson shooting a 7-10. All right, so gets 1. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here, see what we're checking out today. Lanes 29 and 30. Baton Rouge River Center 2012 USBC Open Championship. Ronnie Horton checking in. He doesn't miss a broadcast. I think he's our #1 tuner-inner.
Hopefully he doesn't miss his own.
That's true.
Gotta be here. Maybe we can do both. Maybe he can go bowl after every frame. He comes back up, comes up to the booth and says what's up. Talked about a shot. Pull that off.
I still think we need to institute the helmet cam. And a wireless mic, but somebody asked me if I was willing to do it, and I don't know. I don't know if I can filter myself quite enough for a PG audience.
Like the first ball change we have seen thus far from Stefanie Nation. Like what looked to be an outburst made by Columbia 300. Unofficially, that's what it looked to be from here. Mentioned a couple of left-handers on this pair of mats.
I'm taking notes.
That was my next question, of course, as I knew you would be, but lefties that we have seen on the live stream and really throughout the tournament thus far, it's been a bit of a struggle, at least early in the team event, to kind of get comfortable and see what is going to work and what's not. It's a great square pickup right there. Looks like he might have changed balls. Stefanie mentioned some things about having everybody has something with some surface, a couple of balls with some surface. Slow down the reaction a little bit. Mortensen there leaving a 10-pin on a double. While she's standing next to us, might as well say hello to Kathy Cancio, who's here to compete at the Open Championships.
Kathy, of course, spent 3 years in our check-in department. So when you came up and said, hey, I don't want to bowl at 7 a.m. Do you have any openings, please? She was a hero for many. And she has moved on to bigger and better. Still coming to bowl today, so best of luck to her and some of our staff members. And she's up here taking notes, and hopefully not on that spare shot. One of the own tough go at it there. Take a look here on the right lane. Steve Merton, the left-hander. Like about 10 at the arrows. Definitely, you're going to see some early hook if you get it in, no doubt. And that one never had a chance. I believe Stephanie and Chris for sure. No doubt Kristen and Andy most likely spent some time at the International Training and Research Center there in Arlington, Texas at the International Bowling Campus. As employees in that building, Stephanie and Kristen are right there in front of the action, so the opportunity to practice on the tournament condition. Of course, that opportunity open to everybody, so you can stop by anytime, talk to Brian O'Keefe. They'll get you set up, so you don't want to come out here unprepared. But in the event that you do, we have a first-time opportunity for those ambitious bowlers here inside the venue. Emil, take it away.
Well, you must be talking about the showcase lanes.
Indeed.
Which are located upstairs on the second floor. 4 lanes. An opportunity to practice on the same lane condition. See Lotion with a great shot. His first mark of the game. an opportunity to practice on the lane conditions, on the same lanes, same oil machine, same oil, same everything that is downstairs here. Venue is also upstairs. Take advantage of that. If you'd like to come by yourself or with your team, up to 10 people, and join in on a Showcase Lanes practice session. Peak hours, 129.95. Off peak, 89.95.
Well, I can tell you, I've already booked my spot for my team for the first week of May. Yeah, we have a night session. We're going to get out there, test out some equipment, maybe get some tips from the staff up there, what's working, what's not. We definitely want to be as prepared as possible when we take the lanes.
Check that, 125. 125, go up to 10 people. Split that, cost effective. Have an opportunity to simulate a team event if you'd like. I know several have done that. 10 minutes of practice up there. 2-minute warning, everything. So go ahead and simulate that. Talking to the particular individuals. Simulate that so they can get a feel, get accustomed to how long it will take. What will happen during those 10 minutes. Get a feel of what will happen down here in the same practice time. All sessions are 1 hour. Pickup for Rodriguez. Able to stay clean with that pickup. Here's Chris Johnson. Wow. Having trouble buying a break on lane 30. Last time on that lane left his pocket 710. This time he goes stone 9. You can see everybody trying not to do too much with the bowling ball at the release point. Johnson both soft in the open hand release. Ball on line, parallel down the lane, up the boards. Spare pickup from Johnson. Doing professional PBA Rookie of the Year, that's the 0304 season.
Well, Emil, we just got the update. It's 3-2 Rangers in the 8th. Not surprising by any means. So hopefully your day isn't going to be completely ruined in about 3 outs or so.
It's okay. I heard Adam Dunn hit a home run. The best news we can hear. He did not do much of that last year.
All right, there's a look at my former teammate, Kristen Warzinski, with the new arm swing there in the approach. Big strike there on lane 30, so first strike of the day, and she is all smiles. Looks like a ball change that went well, so it's always a good feeling when you make the right guess. She's got one strike in the book, so I think she's ready for some strikes. Now let's see if Ryan Losey can double up after starting the day with 3 open frames. This group certainly does not have the same feel that we've had on our last 2 team broadcasts of cohesiveness, communication. And of course, in both of those instances, there's some movement into the top 10. I believe 4 for 4, was it not? Yep. Our last 4 teams that we showed on our live stream made it into the top 10, so these folks better have their striking shoes on. Stefanie looking to double up. Ball change. The outburst, as you mentioned, that she threw 1 frame ago. Very smooth rolling ball. By taking off some of the shine, of course, she smooths out the reaction there. A lot of friction down lane on this 39-foot pattern, especially early when they're fresh. So you get some breakdown, blend the pattern a little bit. Seems to be the key to success early. Stay away from too much shine. Something that's gonna smooth it out. She figured it out early. Good shot there from James Stevens. So as you said, it takes some people some time to get loose, get used to the environment. I'm not sure if these folks took advantage of the showcase lanes upstairs. That, of course, an opportunity to get a feel for the high ceilings and the approaches. The weather down here a little bit different than some folks might be used to. So if anything, that's just an opportunity to get comfortable. But if you come out here cold, it'll probably take you a few extra minutes, a few shots to get everything going. But certainly 10 talented players. So they know their way around the bowling lane. Mona Leone stepping up on the left lane. A champion at the big event here locally, the John Juneau Memorial at one point, so he's no stranger to success. Good shot there, leads a 10 pin. Now up on the right, I've got my notepad out, the left-hander Steve Merton looking for his first strike. We saw him earlier, a little bit too far in, I think, early. With something shiny, and the same result again. As soon as it leaves the pattern, it's instant hook.
Didn't look like his best shot. It looked like it pulled it right off his hand. But, a situation like this, where it's a tough pattern out there, of course, it doesn't help your arm swing, doesn't help to loosen up at all. And then you kind of get the case of the tug sometimes. So Steve missed a 5-pin earlier. That'll play with your brain a little bit. Able to get the spare right there. So.
Well, as a fellow left-hander, my advice here to him, you can't hear me, but take a page out of Stefanie's book, perhaps. Get something with a little bit of surface to calm down that back-end reaction, or move left. As you saw, Stevens was much further left, and the ball did not overreact. So I'm thinking perhaps make that move as well. So we'll see if he figures that out. But both shots we saw in the right lane, never had a chance. And your buddy, our buddy, Mike Flanagan checking in inside bowling. Mike, welcome to our live stream broadcast. Thanks for joining us. three-bagger for Lucy.
That's a good shot.
So 3 opens, 3 strikes. I guess that's one way you don't have to worry about missing a spare. Just knock them all down on the first try, just like Chris Johnson did. Good frame there. We're through 6. Let's take a look at the scores.
Stefanie mentioned earlier when I talked to her that Chris had a couple of storm balls, a Nexus, Brunswick Nexus, and a original hammer taboo as well. That looked to be maybe a Nexus Pearl, I'm not sure. Wardzinski now the strike rate again. She's got a double after that ball change.
We go to the scoreboard. We missed 2 great shots.
By the ladies on the squad.
And there's Stevens, got that one in. Inside of 5 and through the face. Rodriguez has the right idea, I think. A little bit of surface there. Just tuck that one in.
Surface is your friend here at the tournament.
But not too much surface, as we know, especially this year, being a shorter pattern. So.
First open for Rodriguez. He's with 136 and 7. Saw on Facebook the other day, I believe, that Mr. Flanagan was testing out patterns for the IB Open. Mike always busy. InsideBowling.com. Some wonderful stuff there. Appreciate him tuning in. Mortensen 2-4-10 now in the left lane. Stawn for a 3-bagger. Also moves off an open hand release. Baton Nation. Playing outside. Starting at the right of second arrow, 10 board. That looks to be around 7 or 8. Around, going right a little bit, never caught the friction and continue to right. Not a bad shot from Burke there. Leaves himself to make him a spare. Johnson went for it with 2-10. It's barely missing 2, so helping for Chris. Bird's been pitching around. He's only got 1 open. Takes care of the 3-pin. Spare, 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 open. Spare, spare, spare. high though. 6'10". Right in between first and second arrow. Shade high, probably because of the closest to the shipboard, like about 8. I'm at the 2012 USBC Open Championship, 230 team event. Eight-time Team USA member Stefanie Nation. 8 consecutive. So 4-time Junior Team USA member as well. On the North Point World Championships 3 times in a row. 03 to 05. Youngest player ever to qualify for Junior Team USA at the age of 15.
About that, Stefanie Nation, one of the hardest working ladies I know, as far as staying in shape and staying on top of her game. She's always practicing for sure on her bowling game. Always working out, trips a 4-pin there for a 4-bagger. She recently returned home to her home state, Florida, to compete and run the Disney Marathon, 26.2 miles. She plays a little volleyball. Always at the gym, doing something, doing yoga. Very active. Of course, that helps her stay on top of the bowling world. Right now, getting ready for the USBC Queens. That's going to be held April 19th to the 24th. The qualifying will take place at AMF Euless Lanes in Euless, Texas, so not far from her home in Grand Prairie and her place of employment, the International Bowling Campus in Arlington. So if you want to learn more about Stefanie and the USBC Queens, check out bowl.com. There's a nice profile on her and her preparation for that event. There's Burton up on the right lane. Same thing, same result. Ball goes high. Baby split to 2-7. So does not appear to be making the necessary adjustments here, and has gotten 8 frames now without a strike. Shout out to John Mark Manzione checking in from Texas as well. He's our bowling feature writer and news editor on bowl.com, has a day off and decided to spend it with us. So John Mark, welcome to the broadcast. Perhaps getting some tips, preparing for his own trip to the Open Championships, who knows?
Wrote a great profile piece on Stefanie Nation regarding the Queens, and as we just mentioned about her workout regimen. Nice work as always by John Mark. Of course, check that out on bowl.com. Weight training and marathon running and just general fitness come a long way. Find yourself in a tailored training regimen to get fit, keep yourself in bowling shape. A lot of people who train hard, work out daily. Not necessarily looking to be big and bulky, but Stay fluid, stay loose, stay lean. Muscles intact, specifically for bowling.
Well, USBC does offer a lot of great tips on the right exercises for bowlers and nutritional tips as well. And you can find those and more in US Bowler Magazine. First week of every month. Check that out on bowl.com. The web-only US Bowler has all kinds of good information. Articles written by the coaching staff at the ITRC, as well as Nick Bohannon, our exercise specialist. So don't forget to check that out. The April issue now up on bowl.com, so don't miss it. And who knew, to be honest? I mean, you hear about a lot of the college bowling teams and their mandatory workout programs, and those are the best teams in the country, of course. They work hard at it, on and off the lanes. Tough break for Stefanie Greek Church after 4 in a row. And a washout for Brzezinski. I don't know if that's the same ball she's been throwing, but did not quite get the back-end reaction she was hoping for on that shot. Paid the price. So these two teams having a tough go at it. Quite a few strikes on the board, but awful lot of dashes as well.
We've seen the first game be very troublesome for several of our teams, as we see Kent Lowe making his way up to the booth here. Kent Lowe.
Kent Lowe, the local bowling rider, no doubt very familiar with Monteleone and Sean Thon, two local standouts. I'm sure he's written their names a couple of times. Kent spends a lot of time here, especially now that basketball season is over.
Yep.
The LSU Tigers, he's your basketball SID and part-time bowling rider here in the Baton Rouge area, so we appreciate his coverage. And he is instrumental in the fact that every single day our top 10 scores can be found in the Advocate, the local paper. And of course, twice a week, his column, Tuesdays and Fridays. A lot of great coverage of the tournament. As we know, every bowler has a story to tell, so we're looking at 60,000 stories walking through the door. And Kent is here to help us out and tell those. So you can find his stuff in the Baton Rouge Advocate, and you can find our stuff on bowl.com. Just go to the Open Championships page. You can check out all the latest stories, features, pictures, information, you name it. As far as daily event coverage, you can also find the lane condition. You can have your local bowling center put that out as well, so you can practice a little bit before you come into town. But as we said many times over, you got to make your spares also, and we've seen some spare shooting blunders here early in game number 1. Thon stepping up on the right lane, working on 4 in a row. Make that 5, so he's got the best look at everybody, it looks like. 9 frames, he's got 7 strikes and 2 spares, so right on.
Got a good combination of revs to release. Talk about right now, I'm not sure if this is his normal release, but it looks like he's trying to be very soft. Not do too much at the bottom, of course, but he's got enough revs where when he is soft, he can still get the ball to tip. See if they get the ball forward or to right, target down lane. So He's got the good mix going, and it's what you need here. To be successful, it definitely helps, of course.
Chris Johnson with the washout. And on the left lane, Steve Merton still looking for his first strike of the day. Looks like he made a ball change. Something that is a little smoother on the back, no doubt. Still fishing. Johnson's going to give it a go. He gets 2. So let's take a look at the scoreboard as we head into the 10th frame here in game number 1. As you mentioned, we've seen some slow starts. And teams get revved up later down the road. Of course, our last 2 broadcasts were 4 for 4. We're cracking the top 10. So we won't count these guys out.
Great shot from close.
As we get to that point, Emil, what's the top 10 looking like right now in the team event?
Well, currently in 10th. To the place score 31-44. That is held by Bob's Custom Decks out of Romeoville, Illinois. And 9:31:51, that is Strike Effects Pro Shop, Newport, Rhode Island. We got a tie for 7th, 31-54. HammerBowling.com, Orlando, just saw them the other day. And Bud Light Sheboygan. And 6th, Racers Pro Shop. Just made their way to the event a couple of days ago as well, 31-68 in 5th. Junior Team USA Support 1 from Mansfield, Texas, 31-70. And the Lodge Lanes 2 from Orlando, John Gaines and crew, 31-96. Top 3, 32-04, Nicholas James Pro Shop from La Crosse, Wisconsin, 32-27. In 2nd place is Indy Storm 1. Mandan, North Dakota. Your regular team leaders for about, I believe, over a month now. Nicholas J's Pro Shop 2, 34-01. Also from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Let's look at your top 10. Regular team. And a lot of solid numbers up there, but of course the 34-01 really stands out.
No doubt. We talked early about the pattern, and of course it's easy to talk and try to guess how it's going to go. But I don't think anybody saw that 3,400 coming. That was a huge night for those kids from Wisconsin. They spent a lot of time bowling together in college and league, getting ready for the team atmosphere, the communication, the breaking the lanes down, everything that it takes to succeed. Of course, they come from a hotbed of team and open championship success. And they certainly proved it. They blew it out. They blew it out early, and now they have the opportunity to check the scoreboards and keep an eye on how things are shaking up on the online leaderboards. No doubt, we haven't seen any of them check in on the live stream yet today. Andy Mills, a regular guest. Pointing back to the team, he's the anchor bowler on that Nicholas J's Pro Shop 3400 team. Especially having never been there before, being as young as they are, I can't imagine what that's like. A long, long wait. This event kicked off February 11th, and we'll be here every day, 151 consecutive days until July 10th. We shut it down and back it up. And every time we have a talented team coming through, just like we do now. Team USA member Stefanie Nation, former PBA Rookie of the Year Chris Johnson. You have to be on the edge of your seat waiting to see how that turns out, I'm sure. And we have quite an extensive list of talented bowlers coming through in April and May for sure. I know Ryan and Shannon O'Keefe will be here very soon. S&B Pro Shop led by Billy Orlikowski, champion at this event. Too many to name, really, but if you'd like to check out who's coming and when, Go to bowl.com, the notable bowlers list. You can find that in the information box on the Open Championships page, or type notable bowlers into the search box, and you will see the list of who we think is notable and when they'll be here. So right now we're checking out Stefanie Nation and Chris Johnson and their talented crew. Kristen Warzinski, first one to get done, shoots 184. And Steven Rodriguez misses his second 10-pin of the game, finishes 193. So those miscues right there cost him a big game in the opener. Stefanie struggled early and late, but a four-bagger in the middle got her to 188. Jim Stevens, 187.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the last 2 years at the Open Championship, Stefanie has had the front 9 during the team event. So, of course, still hope for that as Mortensen wraps it in. Talking about the young guns from Wisconsin. There's another crew of young guns that I'm thinking about now. They've had a lot of success here at the Open Championships as of late. Also gave the regular team lead a run last year, I believe, the last couple of years. Jonathan Shallow and Ryan Kohlmeyer. All used to bowl at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. A lot of hard work and dedication in the state of Wisconsin. They bring it.
Well, having lived there briefly, I can tell you there's not any place I'd rather be in the middle of the winter than in a nice warm bowling center. So they do put in the hard work. I believe our defending regular team champions, USBC Hall of Famer Jeff Riggles, Mark McDowell, Steve Richter, Jan Myers Jr., and Mike Sadie have a big weekend planned. Big practice session up there at Steve Richter's place. They'll have the pattern out, put together their strategy, game plan, narrow down some equipment, try some things, have a good relaxing time at it. See if they can make it 2 in a row here at the Open Championships. Baton Rouge, of course, a special place for them. They took home the Team All-Events title back in 2005, as well as the regular doubles title, Riggles and Richter. So it'll be special for them to walk down center aisle, not only as the defending champions in Baton Rouge, but the defending champions in the team event. So extra special for them.
It's a few days before they get here. Close to late May, just a couple of days prior to be defending regular doubles champions will stop in. Opportunity to try to defend their regular doubles title. Brandon Terabek, Michigan. Another awesome state for some good bowling. But up next, in the very near future, in fact next week, Matt Wagon. Return back to the Open Championships. Fresh off a regular singles and regular all-events win last year at the National Bowling Stadium. First person in history to go back-to-back 800 series. Go 16-26. That 826 got him a singles win. All events total was 2268.
How about that? And, you got to be there for that.
I did.
I was on an airplane on my way to Syracuse and got off the plane in Chicago for one of my 2 stopovers on the way there. I thought it was an April Fool's joke.
because
you are the king
I am
of
the guy
April
for
Fool's
those.
jokes, absolutely. So there's your final score, game number 1, 8:58 and 9:71. Emil's gonna write those down real quick. Oh, we're not done yet. Sorry. It's 9:71 for Chris Johnson, Stefanie Nation's team, and Brian Losey's gonna wrap things up there. So those guys just under 900. They jumped the gun a little bit. Sean Thon, big 239. He's high on the pair by a bunch, only one to shoot 200. And that was another open frame for Losey. So let's see if these guys can shake it off.
It's an instance to where, Matt, and we'll go right back to Wigan in just a second, but the first game has been very troublesome for everybody. It's been everybody who has stepped foot here on our webcast I'm talking about specifically. The first game has been tough. Most of them have said, you know, that the first game might be the key as far as taking the lead is concerned. 971, right about what I think the average has been, somewhere between 950 and maybe 1020, 1030 in that general area. Then you start to see the scores go up, especially in the second game. The average, in my opinion, seems to be around the 1060, 1070, all the way to about 1120, 1130. Just the other day, we saw Lodge Lanes 2 go 970, 60, 1161. So that kind of paints a picture right there of how things can improve in the second game. Of course, the hard work that you put in to practice in the first game, trying to capitalize on the strategy, field frames, can lead to some big things down the stretch. So by no means team on lane 30, Stefanie Nation leading the way. Chops from 3-6-10 are out of it. Still opportunity for some big numbers. Great shot by Steven Rodriguez. I think he finally put the ball where he wanted to. He saw the results immediately. Great shot from Steven. But continue on as far as Matt Wagan is concerned. He even coined the term, or we coined the term. Wagan did. Pretty funny.
That entails, of course, I don't want to say mediocre team event, but his team event, at least by his standards, I believe a little less than he had hoped. A little 636. Most people would be very happy with that. I'm sure he was satisfied, but knew that he threw the ball better than 636 worth. I think that was the point there. And made a couple minor adjustments, came back the next day. 806 in doubles, 826 in the team event, or I'm sorry, team event singles. And again, probably not much difference in the way that he felt he was throwing the ball, you know, from team to doubles or singles. And just a matter of everything worked out in his favor. And so now if you have a kind of an average team event and you come out huge in doubles and singles, you've Matt Wagan did. So 1 year ago, we did not even know who Matt Wagan was. And now, not only is he a two-time champion at the Open Championships, but he's got his own term.
That's when you know you've made it right there. Look forward to seeing Matt on the live stream.
I've talked to him a lot in the past year since his big day, especially in July when we got to congratulate him on his 2 titles. And he is the first gentleman since 2004 to win singles and all events in the same year. John Janowitz, of course, we saw him just the other day on our live stream broadcast. His team now in the lead in team all events, so he could potentially be adding a 3rd eagle to his resume. Still a long way to go, of course. July 10th, closing day here. And Emil, let me point out there, Steve Burton, our left-hander, just up on lane 30, moved about 12 boards to the left, and a lot more controllable on the back end there. He went high almost every frame in game number 1, did not throw a strike, and in the 10th frame decided to move a little bit left And now he's right around the pocket, left the 6-pin. So now it's a matter of perhaps choosing a little calmer ball, but I think he made the right move. And let's see if he can, well, I want to say capitalize, and another miscue. So things definitely not going well for these two teams here. The entire nation, 886, and Chris Johnson's team, 971. So a lot of room for improvement here, but of course 3154 will get them in the top 10. So let's see if they can pull it off. A lot of years of experience and talent out there. Just never know, as we saw with Eric Vermelia, his junior Team USA support group, close things out with a 1220 to jump into the top 10. So the highest game of the year so far, a huge finish. And exactly what they were hoping for. They decided to grind it out early, broke them down just how they'd hoped. Popped off a big one at the end, and that was that. It also helps when somebody on your team shoots 250, 290. It just works out that way. Sometimes one guy goes huge and kind of carries the rest of the team along. And that's exactly the opposite of what we saw with our team all events leaders. Lodge Lanes 2. They were all in the 1900s. Nobody shot 700. Nobody shot anything absolutely huge. Just 5 guys, real consistent, worked together, communicated very well, and they were rewarded. So for the time being, first place in team all events. So we've seen a little bit of everything. Break there for Stefanie Nation. That one looked left and slow, at least from where I'm standing. And she pays the ultimate price, 4-7-10, as we see Chris Johnson go into the bag. Looking for something to help him out. Maybe he found it.
Put something in the bag. It looked to be a virtual gravity nano pearl. But it looked to be.
Stefanie Nation with a pair of opens here to start game number 2. Kristen Warzinski with the same up top there. So see if Steven Rodriguez could be the hero here. Starts this game with a double. Had a 193 game number 1 with 2 missed 10 pins. So the 2 left-handers on this pair, Stevens and Hurt, not making me very excited to get out there. Yeah, they're making it look very tough, which of course they are challenging. Yeah, it really just makes me want to spend a couple extra hours on the practice lanes.
I've actually had a couple of people that I know ask me about the left side. And of course, I can only give my best bowling answer. Of course, no personal experience or nothing to draw from. I'm not left-handed, but you know, just by watching, there's no question that it can be tough out there.
Well, we saw 2 of our buds, Jeffrey Mersch and Sean Ryan, struggle a little bit. Both left-handed, of course, and things did not go well, or as well for them as they have possibly in recent years. But then we saw, on the other end of that, our 2002 regular all-events champ, Stephen Hardy, bowled exceptionally well, and shot well over 2,000. So it's out there, and again, I saw him playing further out on the ditch, at least in my practice opportunities nearby. I have not practiced on this exact surface here, but at a nearby bowling center, I did find a little bit of friction, you know, outside down lane. Yeah, it felt comfortable. Just had to practice on some angles and work on that, but it was definitely there, and Stephen Hardy enjoyed that for 9 games, so I'll be interested to see what it's like when I get my chance out there, but certainly not feeling super duper confident at this point.
It's a mixture. I think everybody has their own idea, but at least on the left side. Straighter and out seems to be a good method of success. Now we just saw Steve Burton try that. Ball may have been going left, but he definitely was outside of 5. But leads at 3-7.
Well, especially when they're tough, I would think the way they say straighter is greater. But it's a very nice spare pickup, though. But as we've seen in recent years, it shouldn't be that much different. You put out a challenging sport certified lane condition, and you have to minimize your mistakes. Of course, on a traditional house shot, you have the opportunity to, in a left-hander's case, stand a little bit right, throw it left, project it left, and it's going to make a turn. Not so much here. You have to definitely close your shoulders, square up a little bit. Otherwise, of course, you'll pay the price with 3-7, 3-7-9, and if you're lucky, roll the 7 and just leave the 3.
Interesting look there from Borzinski. She's moved in, but playing him straight. Right up 17-18 on that last shot there.
Sometimes hard to watch your friends not bowl very well.
I would agree.
Then, of course, the fact that we're going to stand here for 3 hours and analyze every shot, every mistake. It makes it a little bit tougher, and of course, no doubt, if possible, they're going to go back and they're going to watch. Hopefully they won't hold it against us.
Well, the goal is to be as objective as possible. And our opinions on some things. Only going by what we see. That's a tough spare.
It is a tough spare, but these guys are good. So I know it's easy to say from back here, but we're seeing a lot of easy spares. We saw another one there on the left lane. 2-4 get chopped. 2-8. We've seen a lot of single pin misses here. Now we're only in frame number 3 of game 2.
Had some makeables missed. That 2-8 is tough, and it's even tougher on a tough condition. I know personally I tend to hook at that, and that makes it tough. But Steven Rodriguez went the straight route and still took one off. So,
well, especially on this pattern where it is clear that the middles are hooking. So if you get it in, chances are it's going to make a quick turn. Pattern this year only 39 feet. It's just more than half the lane. How about those quick math skills there?
How about that?
So yeah, definitely any spare like that, any combination, more challenging. That's what separates the loaded cashers from the top of the leaderboard is making spares. Of course, strikes will come, hopefully.
Maybe the first pull shot we've seen from Dawn in a while. He's had the best look so far at 239 in game 1.
He's going to step back, still searching for strike number 1 on the day. But certainly a lot closer here in game 2, making the right moves. Just gazing at the scoreboards here at the Baton Rouge River Center. We're behind lanes 29 and 30. But we can see most of this 48-lane venue. And I believe the 971 that we saw out of Chris Johnson and his team, the highest game on this squad for game number 1. Strike starting to come here, at least for Johnson's team. Here in game 2. He is working on the double, trying to make it 3 in a row to start. No problem.
Good shot right there.
That was a good shot. Very tame reaction on that ball. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of hand behind it. I've seen him play all parts of the lane, and even over the gutter. So he's definitely got a lot of tricks in his bag, and found the right one to start this game with the 3-bagger. So things going much better now. As we are almost through 3 frames. Game 2. Some of our folks watching at home who are familiar with these players, I believe that Scott and Sean are lined up, so they're going to be the ones to lead the charge here. We'll see. Still a long way to go. Losi comes off the approach, shaking his head again, leaves a 4-pin. And Rosinski on the left, missed the head pin to the right. He's going to shoot another tough spare. 1-2-8. No problem. Maybe it's not as tough as that sounds. So here we go. 3 frames in. Let's take a look upstairs. This scoreboard shot brought to you by me and Emil.
For all your Open Championships media related needs, stop by the Media Relations office.
However, that does not mean call me at midnight to find out what your squad times are on April 19th. And a great shot there out of Stefanie Nation, so she's got a double after a pair of opens here in game 2. And if you'd like to see one of our live stream broadcasts firsthand next year in Reno, Nevada, be sure to register for the 2013 USBC Open Championships. Registration opened on March 1st. You can find that on bowl.com on the Open Championships page as well. A little different registration system this time around. It's all going to be in real time. So be sure to check that out. Get your team registered. Everything will be done online this year. And you have the opportunity to pay and immediately lock in your doubles and singles times. And a little bit different schedule next year as well in Reno. We are going to fresh oil on every squad. So we're going to go from 5 doubles and singles squads down to 3. New squad times will be doubles and singles at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10:30 p.m. with back-to-back team events at 3 and 7 p.m. And while we're talking about that, Steve Merton, first strike of the day. How about that? Got left. Made a good choice, and there it is. First one in the books now. We'll see how many will come. So back to 2013. Get on there, get online, get in there soon. First come, first serve. You get to choose from what's available from the squad times as soon as you pay. About 11 a.m. seems to be the one everybody's looking forward to. So make sure to get there early to get those times. Once again, bowl.com, go to the Open Championships page, click on register now. But ladies, don't feel left out. 2013 Women's Championships registration is now open as well. You can go to the Women's Championship page on bowl.com, get signed up for that. While the Open Championships will take place at the National Bowling Stadium, the women will be across town on the 44-lane installation inside the Reno Sparks Convention Center. So a very exciting year. First time in history, both events will be held in the same host city. So looking forward to that. A lot of great opportunities. Families have the chance to travel together. And of course the ladies can go both events, as well as all the great side action that we have out there, including the Bowlers Journal Championships, which currently has a new handicap mixed doubles and a 199 and under handicap singles, and potentially some more changes down the road for 2013, so keep an eye on that. Right now we have our eye on Sean Thon. Great shot there, leaves a 10 pin. Didn't seem to like that one off his hand, but one of the best I've seen today.
Yeah, he definitely didn't like it, but it was a great shot. The result was good. But, you can tell it didn't get off his hand the way he quite wanted it to. That's how you know you're in the right part of the lane, doing some things right, make a mistake, and only leave a wrap 10 instead of a big 4, something crazy like that.
Close call there. Stefanie getting ready to step up on the left, but first Chris Johnson looking for a 4-bagger to start game number 2. He's up on the right lane. Great shot from Johnson. Same result, ring 10. Can't ask for more. See if Nation can make it 3 in a row. She gets the 10 out. Show him how to do it, Steph.
Not a bad looking scoreboard.
Coming along. See, we did talk to these folks about possibly going down there in between games to find out what's going on. But after that first game, I might be a little hesitant to interrupt the flow of information. Things seem to be going better here, so maybe after game number 2. One of us will take a walk down and see how things are going. Emil giving me the look, and I call not it.
Yes, sir.
I'll stay back and run the controls on that one. Sideline reporter Emil Williams Jr. is Warzinski. Misses a 10 pin as well, so she is yet to strike here in game number 2. 3 opens and 2 spares. And she's going to throw something back in the bag. Chris just celebrated a birthday. I won't say how old she is, but happy birthday to her, April 4th. And here she celebrated it with a 8-hour drive to Baton Rouge from Dallas-Fort Worth. And there's a birthday present from Scott Monteleone. Big strike there. On the board with a big double.
So far, it looks to be the theory that I spoke about earlier in the broadcast, as far as first and second game scores pointing upward. This game has to look to be that way. X's on the board. Pitch out there from zone Don, but still a makeable spare. It's 3 open, almost complete 5 frame here.
Here's Merton on the right. He is way left, actually in front of the ball return. There's a big double. It's about what I was thinking earlier. That shows me that what I saw in practice is indeed there. It's just a matter of repeating shots. So 2 great shots there. Strike there for Lucy. Chris Johnson trying to get back on the strike train. Started this game with 3 in a row before it ranked 10. Trips a little bit of everything there. Looks like he got away with something there. He knows it. It's got to make you feel good, get you loose a little bit. So the ladies now stepping up. Nation on the right. Trying to make it 4 in a row. She trips a 4-pin, and that's definitely not the same ball we saw earlier. So the surface back in the bag. Going to something a little bit shinier. I would try and guess, but I might be wrong. I would say that was the Omen. But hard to tell from where we are. And here's a look at Warzinski up. Still strikeless here in game number 2. Good shot there. She trips the 4-9. So the breaks coming their way here in the middle of game number 2. And Emil, I didn't want to break your heart earlier, but I believe the Rangers are victorious over the second best team in Chicago.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And the newest addition to the Texas Rangers organization this year, a $26 hot dog. Weighing in at about 2 pounds, I believe. So I'll be looking forward to checking that out when I get back to headquarters this summer. Of course, we are here until July. Open Championships kicked off February 11th, and we're going to wrap things up on July 10th and then pack things up. Be out of here about a week later. There's still a lot of action, a lot of live stream broadcasts between now and then. If you'd like to check out any previous live stream broadcasts, except for the one the other night, you visit our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BowlTV. Check out that and a lot more. Lucas Wiseman, of course, the globetrotting live streamer for USBC, checking out all kinds of events. He will be at the USBC Queens very soon. There's Chris Johnson here to pay us a visit. Let's see what's up, Emil. Take over.
right lane. Good shot from Scott. Strike into sixth. Spare from Mortensen. Things going well for the team of Chris Johnson, Sean Thom. Got Leon, James Stevens, and Stefanie Nation. So here's Steve Burton. He struggled all day, but he got himself a double. Looking pretty good now. Likes where he's at. Far left. Good quality shot from Thon. Don't look now, but got something brewing. Forward to this Burton shot, though. He can strike here. He definitely a groove almost, if you will. Big confidence booster. Looks good. It is.
Well, Mr. Merton's definitely making me feel a lot more confident about my game plan. I'm so excited I can't even talk about it. But of course, execution, the key to success. Or a key. There's so many keys. You need a key ring. If you want to hear some keys to success for our defending regular team champs, check out the 2012 USBC Open Championships yearbook. You can pick one of those up upstairs in the USBC Sports Store for $5, or you can see the online version on the Open Championships page on bowl.com under the Publications tab. So a lot of great stories and information in there. And there's no secrets here. Jeff Riggles happy to share his success stories. We've got 6 frames in the books. Good time to look at the scoreboard. For Chris Johnson and his squad, things seem to be going a lot better than game number 1. Borzinski goes high on the right lane, leaves a 6'10". Stefanie Nation now stepping up on the left lane. Let's take a look. He's working on 4 in a row. Got that one a little bit right, never made the turn. Five, another tough spare. Especially on this lane condition where the middles are definitely hooking quite a bit. She's probably going to pull out something classic here, go straight and hard at it. Good strategy. And no problem. So for those of you just joining us, we appreciate having you today. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Emil Williams Jr. live at the Baton Rouge River Center 2012 USBC Open Championships. We are behind lanes 29 and 30. Off to Team USA member Stefanie Nation to get it done here in 2012.
Farthest left out of the right-handers. Takes care of the 10 pin.
A lot of Dallas-Fort Worth folks. Dallas-Fort Worth folks tuned in here today. We appreciate it. A lot going on in the DFW area. Of course, the Rangers win already in the books. So everybody's celebrating with a little bowl.com bowling action today. We appreciate it. Checking out some of the area's finest as well as two Baton Rouge area standouts. Scott Monteleone and Sean Thon getting it done here.
And I don't know that many people in the DFW area, but the ones I do know, and those who I don't know may be tuning in. Hopefully everybody was okay. Severe weather that passed through there in the last couple of days.
I do believe my house is still standing, so that's good news. Great shot, bad break there for Sean Thon. He's 9 pin. Good break there for Johnson. So the left lane, no problem so far in game number 2. The right lane, however, a couple of spares there. Let's see if we can get things worked out. Finish strong here. Getting ready for frame number 8 here, game 2. Stefanie Nation stepping up on the right lane, working on a spare. Started the day with 188. There's a 4 pin there on the right lane. Kristen Warzinski almost rolls the 10. No dice. The last couple shots high. That one she got out a little bit, just like she wanted it, mixed them up, but number 10 didn't want to cooperate. Have a correction in the chat room. Sean and Scott, not only the best in the Baton Rouge area, but in all of Louisiana. And they're showing that today for sure. Throwing a lot of strikes up on the board. 4-bagger for Rodriguez. You just fire him in there. Celebrities in the building last night. Team USA, or former Team USA member Brianna Caldwell was here for her team event, and I believe we're catching up with her for On the Lanes with Brianna Caldwell, so check that out on bull.com very soon. And also last night's team event included two-time champ Steve Klomkin, former Team USA member and World Cup champion Bill Hoffman, longtime Team USA member and gold medalist in the team events, David Haynes. Put up a solid 31-32 after I believe was their number, just missing the top 10. A solid night for Klomkin, so they'll be out here at 5:30. And had we been a few lanes over to the right, we could have offered some bonus coverage. But there's just not enough time for us to get things moved and set up to be able to catch that. But of course, should anything amazing happen on that squad, we'll bring you the news on bull.com tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you missed it, that's a 5-bagger for Steve Merton. Left-hander finally settled in. Did not strike first 13 frames, and now 5 in a row. So things looking up. Shot there from Pelosi.
They say they come in bunches, those strikes. Good to see Steve lined up, though. He's struggling in that first game. Looks like he has found where he needs to be.
Somebody curious in the chat room, what time do these folks bowl open at St. Louis tomorrow? I do not know. Perhaps Mr. Williams knows, or let me see if that's part of our notable bowlers list on bull.com. We'll have the answer for you in just a second.
I believe it's 11:40. Not sure at all. Check that. Shot from Wojcinski. That was a great shot. 9, also a strike from Nation as well. Right through the beak there goes James Stevens.
So Stevens not taking notes here. Continues to struggle. He's actually moving right while Merton's moving left. Guys, being the only two left-handers on the pair, need to communicate a little bit better. Talk about what they're seeing there. Same team going in opposite directions. Tough pair here. Gonna get 3.
And from here, it looks like another local standout. Like Derwin Petrie there.
Dover picked up an eagle here, 2010 team all events. Brought that back home to Louisiana. Tell you what, sir, if I ever have the opportunity to find myself with an eagle, I'm gonna carry that thing around with me. I might wear it around my neck. Perhaps when you are that good, you can be a little bit humble about it, and people see you walk in and they know you're that good. But appears that Montleone is pretty good as well, as we heard. Solid effort here through 9. We'll have a look at the scoreboard in just a minute. But here's Merton looking for 6 in a row. He's actually in front of the ball return on the right lane, standing in line with the left gutter. Bird dog in the 7 pin.
I like his look there.
I do as well. So that's exactly what I had in mind. Definitely, as we saw earlier, you don't want to miss to the right. If you do, miss a bunch, let it go Brooklyn. Definitely have to throw good, consistent shots here.
Just like Sean
that.
Vaughn. He has been steady so far as we almost threw 2 complete games. 239 first game. Looking for more here.
Here we are heading into frame 10. Let's take a look up top. A lot of X's on the board there for Chris Johnson and his team, and of course, the minute we turned away, Kristen Wojcicki throws her best shot of the day for a big double here at the end of game number 2. Let's not miss Stefanie Nation. Appears that we're getting visits out here from all the guys in the booth, so my question is, who's in there drilling balls right now? Of course, always an opportunity to come to the Open Championships and check out the latest and greatest equipment in the game. All of the major bowling ball manufacturers represented here in the River Center downstairs, right outside of where the lanes are. So go stop by the booth to find out what's working this year. Get fitted up for a brand new nugget before you head out onto the main 48. If you'd like to try that ball out, of course, head back upstairs to the showcase lanes, 4 lanes set up for your convenience. Give you the opportunity to practice for a nominal fee, doing it up to 9 of your teammates. Get situated with not only the approaches and the environment, but the very same lane condition that you'll face during your 9 games of tournament competition. So check that out. Visit bowl.com for more information.
Great recovery from Stefanie there. Started out open, and followed that up with a 4-bagger, finishing with 2:03.
A lot of folks tuning in today. We do appreciate it. And, steady over 300. Just kicked off this 2:30 team event here at the River Center. We are behind lanes 29 and 30, so thank you all for tuning in. And for those of you joining us late, we're here to see Team USA member Stefanie Nation and former PBA Rookie of the Year Chris Johnson making their run at the leaderboard here at the Open Championships. The number they're chasing, 34:01. A very talented group of youngsters from Wisconsin put up a huge number. And second place at this point, just 32:27. So big space in between there. So that just goes to show how talented those guys are to put up such a huge number, and they're at home, I'm sure, checking out the action whenever possible. And are we going to see that number come down today? I want to say probably not. There's still room for a big finish.
Big finish from Stevens there. Looked like he went to a ball change, something different. Looked like it had some surface on it. Three big ones, 10 for 179. Set up Monteleone there. He's got a strike in the ninth. Possible 256 out. A double here puts him in the 250s.
Checking out Louisiana's finest here. Getting it done close to home. Got that one wide right. See you later. Misses the headpin. Tough spare, the 127. As Emil has seen me do on many, many occasions. Step up into 10th, throw one out the window to end a pretty good game. 10th frame Canizaro. Been working on that, however. We'll see if Scott can spare this up. First he'll let Mortensen step up. Working on 3 in a row. Looking for 4 here, doubling a 10th.
Quietly had a good game here. Going about his business, putting the ball in the pocket.
Did love that shot. Looks like maybe he's stuck on the approach a little bit. Makes it back, leaves just a 7-pin. He's
big spare here. The cover.
Seeing some much better scores here in game number 2. Perhaps these guys will be glad to chat a little bit. We will see here in a minute. Mortensen closes things out with 223 to go along with 193 in the opener. So solid day so far. Of our folks in the chat room letting us know that these guys will double the singles at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so I will make it a point to be here a little bit early. Keep an eye on them. Any one of them capable of a breakout performance at any time, so we'll be ready for that.
I might see you here in the morning.
That's true. There have been days. Very capable bowlers bowling at 11:30 tonight. Brianna Caldwell.
Bowls at 11:30.
Bowls at 11:30 tonight, and she has been on a bit of a tear this year. Knocking some pins down back home. The Sport Certified 300 game to her credit now. And what better place for her second one than here at the Open Championships. So good luck with that. And if I do see you here in the morning, I don't think you're going to be in a very good mood, sir. It'll be for a long day and night, which we've all been there. So it's part of the territory. That's why you get paid the big, big bucks.
Good break there for Don. Pulled it, went broken, and got the carry. That is a three-bagger for him. Burton able to cover up the 3-9.
Huge improvement for Merton here in game number 2. Goes from 160 to 230s.
Quality shot right there. Right here we'll give Don 234. Roll on to this 239, the first game. And the shot of the day right there perhaps for Burton.
Now what he needs to do is come back and talk to his teammate, or lane mate, Jim Stevens, who did close this game out with 3 in a row, so he perhaps found what he was looking for. We will see. It's difficult being the only lefty out there, but it's nice when you have someone to talk to about what you're seeing. Don closes out with 234, so great day for him so far, 239, 234. Let's take a look upstairs before things disappear for us at the end of game 2. There it is. Losi up on the left lane. Lead for Forpin. Chris Johnson stepping up on the right. Working on a 3-bagger, looking to make it 4 here and close out strong.
Shot.
Good shot. You know why? Because we're looking at the scoreboard. That's why. So everybody keeping track at home. We're going back to the action.
Maybe that's the scoreboard jinx.
Scoreboard jinx.
Johnson, a little high, going to get the carry, he will not. Sparrow will give him 248. If I'm not mistaken, that'll be 1099.
So huge improvement for Johnson, 166 in the opener. Into the 240s here in game 2, so things definitely looking up for both teams. And as we said earlier, game 1 seems to be the deal breaker for a lot of teams here. If you can grind out a 1,000, a little bit higher maybe, put yourself in great position. And it's 1099 in game 2, 1037 for the entire nation. So plus 70 for Chris Johnson and his squad. So it's solid. Not a bad effort. In 1923. Having some technical issues here. I'm gonna go check that out. I will be right back. Emil, I'm gonna leave it here just a minute.
A strike there would have put, we're giving them 1,100 or so. So they'll take 10.99 after 9 seconds start. Stefanie begins with the strike. Strike from Stevens and Warsinski Rodriguez with a 1-2 double. Up top, so things looking up. Oh boy. Great shot with a tough break. A solid 8-pin from Monteleone. Looks like the mojo is flowing now. You can see a big difference from the first game to now.
Back to it, game 3 underway. Strong start for the entire nation. .886, 1037. And Chris Johnson leading his team to 971, 1099. Sean Thon leading the way there, 239, 234. Marsha Klomkin checking in. Former University of Florida teammate of mine. So we're going to send Emil down to the sidelines and get a few words from today's players. Nice shot there from Merton. Picks up the 310. You don't see that very often out of a left-hander, but no problem. Chris Johnson back on it. Big strike there. Losi, big strike there. So things going a lot better as we expected. The lane's starting to break down, open up a little bit. Everybody getting more comfortable. Warzinski now up on the right lane. She started this game with a strike. Great shot there, but leaves a 4-pin. So she's definitely pushing the ball right here in game 3. And a good shot, just a little bit high. Stefanie Nation now up on the left. She's working on a strike as well. See if she can double up. No problem for the 8-time Team USA member. All right, Stevens closed out game 2 with 3 strikes. and open this one with a strike. Goes high there, though. Unfortunately, leaves the big 4. After 4 pretty solid shots. And we're going to take this opportunity to go down to the sidelines. Emil Williams Jr. is down there with Stefanie Nation. So we'll get her thoughts on the first couple games here. They're just chatting it up. So here's a quick look at those two as we get ready. So Emil Williams Jr., what's happening down there on the lanes?
All right, thanks, Matt. Here with Stefanie Nation, of course. Steph, you guys start off kind of slow in the first game. You shot 971, but picked things up with 1099 in the second game. What happened from practice to the first game and then through the second game as the scores went up?
I think, honestly, that we just saw a lot of transition early. The head started to go. A couple of us were playing farther right, and, of course, I think we just kind of needed to transition parallel left, and it seemed to be working okay so far. So we'll see how it goes the last game here.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you.
All right, that's Emil Williams Jr. and Stefanie Nation down on the lanes. It's nice to be able to have that insight from these players. Get an idea of what's going on out there. It's always hard to tell from back in the booth even what equipment they're throwing, what moves they're making. So when we have the chance to go down and get a few words, that always helps put things in perspective. So as we talked about, a little bit of a rough start here. 886 for the team there on 29. And 971, 1099 for Stefanie and Chris Johnson there on 30. So things going much better here. Very talented group. So that's why we're here. Back behind lanes 29 and 30. Takes more than one player to make a team. And all of these guys with good credentials, of course. As you mentioned earlier, Montleone and Sean Thon, standouts in all of Louisiana. Mortensen from the Oklahoma area, now in Dallas-Fort Worth as well. Kristen Warzinski, talented player from Wisconsin, now living in Texas. Good shot, good break there for Warzinski, tripped the 9-pin. We are in game number 3 of the 230 team event now. Here at the 2012 USBC Open Championships. Looks like we have a visitor on the lanes here to check out the action. You never know what you're going to see here at the Open Championships. So we've got our lane monitors on top of things here, keep things in order. See if Andy Mortensen can keep things in order. He started this game with a big double. After a solid effort in game 2, 223 to go along with 193 in game 1. So as you heard Stefanie say, they're making the right moves. Things are opening up. Everybody's getting comfortable. So far we've seen representatives from the K&K, Ebonite Track, Columbia booth. Here comes another one. Brunswick represented in the stands here, the Hammer booth. Got some folks checking out the action, so they always have their eyes on things so they can help all of the bowlers who stop by the booths with the right advice and equipment to help them find their own success here at the Open Championships. Good to see our bowlers supporting our sponsors as well.
Indeed. It's going to be a fun day today. Something's going to happen. I can feel it.
Today just feels different. I don't know. It feels a little more laid back, I guess. The rain's not quite so tight today. Holiday weekend for a lot of folks. Kids out of school, I'm sure. A lot of people tuning in to join us today. We do appreciate that. So yeah, definitely does feel different. I don't know if it's because it's the afternoon or because there's a bigger crowd on hand. I am not sure.
That afternoon is part of it. As I said at 2:30, it was still early for me.
Yeah, it's about 5 p.m. now here in Baton Rouge. Emil and I would be 15 minutes into our time together here in the Media Relations office. Of course, I am here during the day, come in about 9 a.m. and stay till the action is subsided, at least to a point where I can go and Emil can take over. He comes in about 5 and handles things until the wee hours of the night. So we're on the lanes, of course, from 7 a.m. until almost 3 a.m. daily. Now we are at full schedule, full capacity. Kick things off February 11th. And we'll be at it until July 10th. A lot of great bowlers yet to come through. About 12,000 teams expected this year at the Baton Rouge River Center. So a lot of excitement. So far we've had 8 perfect games at this year's Open Championships and 1 lonely 800 series in singles. If you're going to do it, that's the time to do it. Of course, Henry Teets III rolled the only 800 of the year. He is currently the regular singles leader. And of those 8 300s, 1 belongs to Ryan Whitney from Louisville, Texas, very close to where the 2 teams we were watching come from. Ryan Whitney shot 300 in singles on the way to the all events lead. And he is topping the standings at 2170, so 2100, a huge number this year. Of course, last time we were in Baton Rouge, we had 0 800s the entire 143 days. And now we have 1 this year, so how about that?
I believe Edward Reeding's 800 last year was the first and it was in singles, and I thought that was going to win. And it ended up not being close.
Well, it was close to winning, but it was just one of 16 800s, a record year. At the 2011 Open Championships, we saw 52 perfect games. The most in tournament history, of course, 2002, 64. All sorts of surprises. You really just never know what you're going to see at the Open Championships. And in 2009, we saw some enormous scores that we thought were going to win for sure. And we were very wrong. So you just never know. As we saw with our 3400 leading the team event, 34.01. Early speculation just based on the release of the pattern that it might take 33.50 or so to get it done here. And those guys said, I don't think so. So 34.01, the number on top now. I believe we're about 1/3 of the way through the Open Championships this year, so still 66% of our bowlers yet to come.
All right, some people around earlier. The tournament was getting going and trying to predict the number, their number of 300s that they thought would be shot. I heard one individual say it will be the same as 2005. He said 12.
12.
I said there's no way. I said it will be down. I don't think it'll be that down. I think it'll be 12.
Speaking of 300s, your buddy, Mr. Morton, checking in from Alaska. We do get the opportunity to meet a whole lot of people doing what we do.
It's a good point because the last 2 days, I've met more people that I previously had never seen or heard of, and they've all come up to me and said hello, as we urge you to do all the time. So
we are a celebrity.
People are making the effort to say hello to us. They called me while I was at the information desk looking up some information. How about that? And said hi. Want to commend us on our great effort. Let us know personally that people do watch our live streams. Look forward to the chance to listen, comment, and also get an understanding of what's happening on the lanes. In fact, that gentleman right there, for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but he was one of them. Said, hello, hey, Bill, nice to meet you. Great job. I said, thank you, sir.
Well, we do encourage you to check us out on bowl.com, on Facebook, on Twitter. Looks like Chris Johnson is trying to check us out right now. So all the headlines, of course, on Twitter /USBC. Find it out there first. And the Matt Canizaro. And don't leave out Emil Williams Jr. and Aaron Smith, of course. All part of the Matt Canizaro USBC fan page.
Shout out to Aaron Smith.
Aaron Smith kicking it right now in Reno, Nevada. In orientation at the Women's Championships. He's teaching them something, I'm sure.
The OTs.
As they get ready to kick off there the 2012 Women's Championships at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. And they get underway April 14th. And I do believe we have a Ryan Whitney sighting. Not to change the subject away from Aaron Smith in the Women's Championships. They'll be there April 14th until July 8th, I believe, is the final day there. So if you haven't made plans yet, make sure to be there. Don't miss out. of course, when you're in the National Bowling Stadium, stop by, say hello to Aaron Smith. You can read his blog on the Women's Championships page on bowl.com as well, plus all the news and notes, pictures, you name it, from the Women's Championships, so don't miss out. Tough break there for Sean Thon on the left lane. River is, he only bowls once a week, but still looking pretty good. 239, 234 here. Games 1 and 2. Tough spare shot. Only 29. And he gets 2. As we wrap up, frame number 4, we'll get a look up at the scoreboard. We'll let Chris Johnson let him throw this shot. Strike there from Losey. So Chris Johnson can get back on and start this game with a double. Throws that one out the window. He's looking at the 1-2-4. So got that one wide right. A little bit of a challenging spare here on this condition. Of course, you get it in the middle, it's going to hook. So we'll let him clean this up. Take a look at the scoreboard, and then we'll have Ryan Whitney, our regular all events leader, check it in. And there's that hook in the middle that we talked about. Misses the head pin to the left, so it's 7-2 there for Johnson. Let's take a look upstairs, see what's going on. 971, 1099, not a bad effort at all. Things unraveling here in game 3. The wheels coming off a little bit. Stefanie Nation wide right as well. Let's get back to the action, see if Kristen Wawrzynski can make it 3 in a row. While we have this opportunity, we talked just a couple minutes ago, Ryan Whitney, one of 8 300 games at this year's Open Championship.
Good shot by Kristen.
Still the regular all events leader, 2170. He's been there, he put in his time. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You just felt like making a short drive back from Dallas, or what's going on?
Yeah, just doing some work down here. I got a friend that's bowling tomorrow night and Sunday night, and I knew CJ and Steph were bowling today, so thought I'd stop by and check in, see how everybody was doing.
All right, well, as you know, you left here in the lead. Well, as you know, of course you know, in the lead in doubles and singles and all events, and of course the 300 game. And you did what we kind of call a Matt Wagon. You had an okay team event, and then blasted them in doubles and singles, especially for this year's tough condition.
Absolutely.
But now you're back, and your friends are out there bowling right now. What advice do you have for them and everybody else?
You know, to me, it's just go out and make your best shot. I mean, it's not an easy condition. You know, if you play as a team, you're going to score well, and then in singles and doubles, it's all about who you follow. That's pretty much all it is. I mean, you just, you know, got to have the right ball in your hand. Luckily, I was able to have that you know, specific ball that I go to.
Well, tell us a little bit about your team event, and then kind of what the mindset was heading into doubles and singles, and how to, you know, maybe make the right adjustments when you get back out there. And then, of course, we'll talk about the flip to singles right after that.
Well, the team event, you always try to, you know, break the pattern down together. You know, most events down, you know, 7, 8, 9. You know, as I talked to you guys, this year was a little bit different because we had a few new guys this year. So, you know, my doubles partner and I were kind of worried about how the guys were going to, you know, play it in front of us before it got down to, you know, he and I in the lineup. But they did a pretty good job. I've really yet to have a breakthrough year in the team event. You know, I usually shoot a low 6, and, you know, I did again this year. I felt pretty comfortable going in to singles and doubles. I was a little worried about who we were following. That's always a, you know, a big question, who you follow. but we followed some guys that played them how they were supposed to. And, you know, when we practiced, when we warmed up, we had a really good line, and, you know, that's pretty much all there is to it.
Well, you shot 766 in doubles, and of course you guys put up 1420. Great number. And you seemed a little bit nervous maybe heading into singles, not really knowing what to expect on that pair. You know, I told you, go ahead and do it again, and you seemed kind of tentative at first. And, you know, you of course you hoped it was going to be out there.
Absolutely.
And what happened in singles? Obviously it was there for you. But,
yeah, Chris got me lined up pretty good to start. You know, for him, they didn't really change too much. And, you know, with my ball speed, I don't really have to do a whole lot, just kind of have to see, you know, further down the lane. And for him, you know, he just told me, keep it tight and, you know, just stay there, stay focused. And that's, you know, tried to do that, and, you know, it fared out pretty well.
Well, you're still on top in all events. And what's the weight been like? How often have you checked the leaderboards? What's it like being at home? Kind of wondering.
Chris has been the one that usually updates me that you know, will tell me, hey, did you see this article on this guy, or did you see, you know, who shot what in doubles? I don't generally check it too much. You know, it's something that, you know, I'm sure we'll get beat. There's a lot of great bowlers out here. It's just exciting to lead for right now. You know, if I win an eagle, you know, that'll be a heck of a feeling. But, you know, with the caliber of bowlers that are out here, that come out here every day, you know, I expect to see that number drop.
All right, well, you had the opportunity to watch these guys a little bit here this afternoon. Great players on this pair, some of Louisiana's finest.
Absolutely.
Some great players from our home area now, Dallas-Fort Worth. But what are you seeing now that you have the opportunity to stand back and watch? You know, what's happening here?
To me, it looks like some are too far inside. As you saw with CJ trying to drift it out too far, and then Stefanie looked like she was a little far inside. It really looks like everybody's kind of playing their own shot to me.
Well, we had the same thought early on. That practice looked exactly the same, but it was not the strategy, the cohesiveness that we've seen in recent broadcasts, at least. Everybody working together to break them down.
Absolutely.
It seemed like they were just each trying to get comfortable where their A game might be, and we thought maybe that's what hurt them.
A good shot there by CJ.
In game number 1. Game 2, of course, much better for both teams. And game 3, it's a bit of a roller coaster here.
And we experienced the same thing. It was definitely a roller coaster there. Gave away a lot of pins towards the end of the game, but, you know, it's a fun experience nonetheless.
Well, you definitely had the breakout year, and you took advantage of some of our side events and other opportunities. I'm sure you've checked those results out on bowl.com as well.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to come down and bowl the BJ now that I was here. I didn't get to bowl it before because the approaches were a little slick for me. You know, I don't slide very much, and I was having too much of a time trying to get comfortable when we practiced. So I decided not to bowl it, so I'm going to bowl it while I'm down here.
All right, so for all those folks at home, what is your advice to getting ready or getting set to come bowl the Open Championships? How do you prepare for an event of this magnitude?
Well, a lot of times nowadays, bowling centers have the technology to, you know, lay down these patterns. I mean, they're not exactly the same, but, you know, me being from Texas now with the training center there and being able to lay stuff out, you know, get to your nearest bowling alley, you know, get some practice time in. It'll give you, you know, a good opportunity to change some surfaces, you know, do what you need to do to prepare to come out here, because, you know, a lot of guys and gals that come out here and bowl don't really have the luxury of being able to drive out here. You know, for me this year was a little 5.5 hour trip, so I was able to bring pretty much, you know, whatever I needed out here, whereas, you know, years past where, you know, flying, you only get to bring about, you know, 5-6 bowling balls. That's what it's just about, practice, about prep time, you know, spending your time with, you know, your teammates and your friends, getting them to watch you and see what they think.
So if you could give us 2 or 3 keys to success from what we're seeing today. Spares, very important.
Absolutely. Make your spares. That's why I got it tattooed on me. Make your spares. You know, just try to, you know, play with your teammates. I mean, if, you know, like we're watching right now, everybody's kind of playing their own line and not really seeing a whole lot. You know, as far as singles and doubles, you just gotta stay inside. That's where the oil, you know, kind of pushes. So
All right, folks. Well, you heard it from the experts. I'm just here to tell the stories of guys like Ryan Whitney, our current regular all events leader, 2170. Also rolled one of our A300 games this year. But Ryan, we appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Go back out there, have some time with the friends, enjoy it, and hopefully we'll talk to you in July. It's always good when the superstars get to come up and give us their insight, so you don't have to listen to us for the entire 3 hours pretending like we know what we're talking about. And even better to talk to somebody who's been there. If you'd like to check out more about Ryan's success here at the Open Championships, you can see that story and more on bowl.com, as well as a video interview and some footage of his 300 game, the first of the year here in Baton Rouge. Bowl.com, go to the Open Championships page, and the videos are at the top. There's a Bowl TV tab. You can check out that and many more great videos put together by our video expert Matt Lawson at USBC headquarters. So we take the footage, we do the interviews, and he turns it into something special and memorable. Right now, Sean Thon and his teammates trying to make something memorable here on lanes 29 and 30 at the River Center. Thon started the day with 239 and 234, struggling a little bit here in game 3. Back-to-back opens in the 4th and 5th frames. They're going to get back on track here in frame 6. Thon back on track. So took a few frames off there. Started this game with a double, spare. And the bear opens, but he's back on the strike train, as we say. Stefanie Nation now must have heard our chatter about making spares. She's putting on a spare clinic here in game 3. Started the game with a double, now 4 consecutive spares. Chris Johnson with a tough leave there on the left lane, the 210. Gets one. Earlier this week, Emil had the pleasure of spending some time with Dick Jones, who became the 146th member of the 50-year club. Tough break there, Stefanie Nation. Stoned an apron. But Emil, tell us a little bit about Dick Jones, and as I have allowed you to become the executive director of ceremonies and milestones.
Love that title. What's going on, resume? But Mr. Jones was great, Matt. As are most of all of those gentlemen who reached that milestone. But fantastic gentleman, as you mentioned, 146 bowler to make 50 tournament appearances. He's originally from Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, but now residing in Brigantine, New Jersey. He's a Philadelphia City Hall of Famer, State of Pennsylvania Hall of Famer, and a Delaware County Hall of Famer back when he was a regular bowler. Doesn't bowl that much anymore now, of course, but he does everything possible to make sure he's able to bowl this event. Great gentleman. Had his wife here, his sister. his good friend who had not bowled in 20 plus years, but only came out to bowl this event because Mr. Jones asked him to. So, great man. Had a chance to talk with him afterward. Talked to him last year on his 49th year. Used to own Garris Lanes.
So what you're saying is this event is about more than just high scores and eagles.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people who genuinely care about the event. Now, there was a point probably at some time in their lives, and that's evident. They were very competitive, of course, and those times have passed. We hear it all the time. Mr. Lillard talked about it as well, and almost to the point where he said he was embarrassed at his scores, and so not being able to bowl the way you know how gets to these gentlemen a lot. But reaching that kind of milestone, and this will tell you all you need to know about Dick Jones. Jones shot 300 here at the event in 1993. The event was held in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But he said reaching 50 years meant more to him because there was only 145 people to do it before him. Last time I checked, I believe we were at 759 300s, if I'm not mistaken. But so to think about that, let that sink in for a minute, that 109 years to this event, to this day, only been 146 people to make 50 tournament appearances.
Some elite company.
It's a special club there.
60,000 plus bowlers every year now.
Special club. He looks great. He said he had some ailments happening. He wasn't going to bowl doubles and singles, but he was able to make it down the aisle, bowl the team event, and he said it's a 3-time Hall of Famer. City, state, and county level, so knows what he's doing. Grew up loving bowling in the game. Started as a pin boy, like many others I've talked to, and that's how that passion develops. Brought that passion over to the Open Championships, only missing 2 events since he started in 1961 in Detroit at the legendary Cobo Hall, and 64 and 65. He was serving our country in the military, so he had to miss those 2 events. Only 2 he's ever missed in his Open Championships career, so congratulations to Dick Jones, a good man.
A lot of dedicated folks here
Absolutely.
at the Open Championships, and he was one of 13 gentlemen scheduled to reach 50 years here this year. And of course, our participation leader, tied at 71 years, Bill Dorman and Joe Norris. As we saw earlier this year, Bill Lillard reached 65 years. Still Thiel took the active lead at 67, so he is in pursuit of Norris and Dorman. Lillard trying to catch up as well, also the active pinfall leader. So he is very close, about 2.5 years away from getting past Joe Norris, so we'll see. Of course, one of us, or both of us, will be there to see all of those milestones and much more. And now, while we have a break in the action, we'll take a look up at the scoreboard here. We are in frame number 8 of game 3. 2 talented teams trying to get it done here at the Open Championships. And there it is. A rough start for both teams. Huge improvement in game number 2. A little bit of a roller coaster ride here the rest of the way, so another open frame. Spare shooting. Definitely hurting both teams today. Back to the action just in time to see Stefanie Nation swish him around for a strike that came after 5 consecutive spares.
Spare game looks like it's prepped and ready to go for the Queens.
Queens coming up in the Dallas area. AMF Euless Lanes in Euless, Texas. April 19th to the 24th. So if you're a lady bowler and would like to bowl in that event, you can find more information on bowl.com. Or if you're a bowling fan and would just like to check it out, stop by AMF Euless Lanes April 19th to the 24th to see the best women bowlers in the world. Robert Lawrence checking in the chat room as well. Familiar name from the PBA Tour. And he'll be out here next week for his 29th Open Championships appearance. So he says he still gets a little giddy when it's time. Who doesn't get that goosebump feeling walking down the center aisle here? When you get to see the high ceilings and the big crowd, all the banners hanging from the rafters. This is the real deal. Big show, the big stage. And here's local standout trying to get it done in front of the hometown fans. Scott Monteleone working on a 3-bagger. Trying to make it 4 in a row on lane 29. That shot was great. Scott with 191, 235 so far today. Rough start here in game 3, but a 4-bagger. And he's setting up a big finish. Now, Sean Thon's gonna step up, working on a double. You saw Steve Merton on the right lane. He did not strike until the 4th frame in game number 2, but then rattled off 6 in a row. Found his way into the 230s after a 160 start, so. Some folks in the chat room are curious again about the John Gaines video that we live streamed on April 3rd. I'm gonna let Emil handle this one.
Well, the video is currently it's in the processing mode on YouTube's end. So they are working diligently to get that up for us. There is no timetable at the moment. They are working hard as we speak to make that available for you to view and watch. So we appreciate your patience. And as soon as it's up, it's up.
But if you'd like to read more about Lodge Lanes 2 and HammerBowling.com's stellar performance here at the 2012 Open Championships, you can find that news on Bowl.com. Lodge Lanes 2, of course, leading team all events, 97-44. They squeaked into the lead. Very talented group there, led by 3-time champion John Gaines, 2-time winner John Janowitz, former Team USA member Vernon Peterson, recent PBA national champion Scott Newell, and Mitch Jabczynski, who celebrated 40 years at the Open Championships. He, of course, is a 1987 Team All Events champ, so a lot of credentials in that group. And they are on top, Team All Events 97-44. Stefanie Nation and her team will be back at it tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. That's the report. To make a run at doubles, singles, and of course team all events. It's a great shot there by Kristen Wawrzynski. She's finally looking comfortable. She made some ball changes early on, settled in with this ball in game 2, and has thrown it pretty well ever since. So that's a big double for her. Foundation frames. Stefanie going to Spare Town here in game 3. Steven Rodriguez says no thank you on the spares. I'm going to drill that one. All 10. Trying to figure out what he's throwing. Not sure if it's a peach vibe or a pink hammer, but whatever it is, it just blasted the rack.
I guess it'll be a peach vibe. Just from knowing Mr. Ryan, probably a peach vibe.
Andy Mortensen, good shot there. He is the deepest, I believe, of this group. Standing left, getting around it a little bit.
Like I said, second game, quietly just having a solid game. The same thing here is when 193-223. Double, spare strike, then ultimately finds himself with a double again, setting himself up for the 10th frame.
Both of these teams well on their way to being inside the loaded cash numbers here at the Open Championships. If you're curious what those numbers are, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp and check out the scores information box. It'll tell you all that and much more. As Monteleone wide right, fortunate to leave just the 2-8. Let's see if the left-hander Merton can get back on track. There on the left lane. Took him a while to get lined up, but he got there. And has been throwing it pretty well ever since. Working on a pair of spares here, looking for a solid 9th frame and a big finish. Good shot. Hooks early, leaves the 6-pin. Can't be upset about that. Things wind down here on the 230 team event. 530 doubles and singles about to come out. And that squad includes two-time champ Steve Klomkin, who had a big night last night. We'll see if he can knock some more pins down today. But for now, we've got our eyes focused on these two teams in front of us. Sean Thon stepping up with 3 in a row.
You can always tell when a squad is ending here at the Open Championships. That's a bad break right there. Just a sense of calm across the venue there. Quieter, I should say. And then once the bowlers come out, which will be probably in the next couple of minutes. The roar will once again emerge.
We'd definitely like to thank everybody for joining us. We've been 300 strong throughout this entire broadcast. I'm sure it's a beautiful day all around the country, but thanks for taking time out to watch a little bit of bowling today. Matt Kinizar and Emil Williams Jr. live at the 2012 USBC Open Championships Baton Rouge River Center. And we'll be back with you again on April 12th with S&B Pro Shop. 2:30 p.m. Be there. And then again on April 16th with our defending singles and all events champion, Matt Wagon. Get to see him in person for the first time. So looking forward to that. If you want to see more of the live stream schedule for USBC, check out bowl.com. It's on the front page, bottom right-hand side. Not just the Open Championships, but Lucas Wiseman, our globetrotting live streamer. All kinds of good stuff coming up for him. USBC Queens, the ITC,
ISCs as well.
I know. How about that? College bowling going to be all over bowl.com and YouTube. Don't miss that.
April Madness, if you will, on the collegiate side. College bowling's version of March Madness. ITCs. 32 teams total, 16 on each. We take a look at the scoreboard now, 10th frame.
Once again, this scoreboard shot brought to you by Matt and Emil in the Media Relations Department. Visit us online on bowl.com, on Facebook, on Twitter, or just come by the office and say hello at the Baton Rouge River Center for all of your media relations needs. Insert untapped sponsorship opportunity here. As we go back to the action, there's some interestingly dressed characters on this 530 squad on their way out to the lanes. It's all about taking pride. If you look good, you feel good, you bowl well, that's what it's all about. If you want to pick up a Pride Award here at the Open Championships, for all teams that choose to dress alike, that means matching shirts and matching pants, no jeans allowed. You'll take home a Pride Award lapel pin. So don't miss that opportunity. For more information about that, there's a dress code information box on the tournament page on bowl.com as well. Kristen Warzinski finishes off with 206, so not a bad day for her. 184, 181, 206. So you gotta feel good about that finish heading into doubles and singles tomorrow, as Rodriguez doubles up there. Stefanie Nation finishes with 196, 188, 203, 196. And they're gonna pack things up the way it works here at the Open Championships. As soon as the lanes become available, the next squad is out there. So they are ready and waiting. Jim Stevens closes things out at 166. Rodriguez goes Brooklyn for a 3-bagger. As we'll get our final look at Scott Monteleone. On the left lane. Famous face in Louisiana. Not a bad day for him. Good shot there. Big strike. So far today, he's got 191, 235, so not a bad day at all. Rodriguez closes things out to 222. He has a 600 series in the books. Bill, one thing we didn't get to talk much about today was the VIP program. We'll definitely make it a point to point that out on our next broadcast, but for now, anybody interested in being a VIP here at the Open Championships, of course we have 60,000 VIPs, but for a little extra special treatment, go to bowl.com/VIP and check out all the benefits. You will not be disappointed. That includes even a 1-hour practice session on the showcase lanes with USBC silver level coach Bill Hall, one of the most famous names in coaching and bowling. So that opportunity alone, well worth the price of $199.95. Check it out, bowl.com/VIP. We'll turn our attention back to the action. We're wrapping things up here. 230 team event. Scott Monteleone closes things out with 188. So the roller coaster ride continues here for Chris Johnson and his team. 971, 1099. Things not going well here in game 3. And the entire nation, their companion team, 886, 1037. And things are going okay here in game 3. We'll have the final score for you in a few minutes. Andy Mortensen with a 4-bagger. So he quietly had a pretty solid day, as Emil mentioned earlier. Mortensen, not one of the big familiar names on this pair of lanes. He is a familiar face in the PBA Southwest region, and recently moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So looks like he finally got far enough left and comfortable. And closes things out with a 5-bagger for 219. So Mortensen, 193, 223, 219. So not a bad day at all for the right-hander. As people start to check out of the chat room today, thanks for joining us. We'll be back with you 2:30 p.m., 3:30 Eastern on April 12th. Don't miss it. Here's Steve Merton trying to finish strong. Huge break. Trips a 4 off the wall.
That was awesome.
Throwing pins around after the rough start he had. He deserves that one. Finally made the move. He fought the middle of the lane for the first 12 frames, 13 frames. And the ball looked great until about, 39 feet, and it checked dead right. And then he just moved left with something shiny. And the rest is history, so. Rough start, followed by 2 decent games. Sean Thon finishes things out with 194, so 239, 234, 194. Chris Johnson continues to struggle here in game 3. I'm going to say we do not give him a microphone after this is over. He does look awfully frustrated out there. Started the day with 166, battled back for 248 in game 2, and things just not going well. Here in game 3, he's going to need this spare to have a chance at 160. Does not get it. So Chris Johnson, former PBA Rookie of the Year, 166, 248, 150. As his team finishes with 29.64. So what looked like a very promising uphill climb after 2 games ends with 8.94, 29.64. And Losi is going to step up and close things out for the entire nation. They are right at the 2,900 mark. And he doubles up. We were hoping we'd get Stefanie Nation to come on up and chat with us, but she has disappeared. So I believe we'll wrap things up here in just a minute. We'll let Losi close things out. Good shot there, 3 in a row. Losi 170. Well, that can't be right. Can't read Emil's handwriting, so we'll say he rolled 185 in game 2. And having a much better game 3 here. Leaves a 2-pin, closes things out with 204, 1034, so 29.57 and 29.64. Definitely 2 cashers, but they're going to have a lot of work to do tomorrow. They're going to make a run at Team All Events. The Team All Events leader, 97.44. Lodge Lanes 2, led by 3-time champ John Gaines. And that is going to do it from the Baton Rouge River Center today. Today definitely has a very different feel to it, but we appreciate you joining us. This is Media Relations Manager Matt Canizaro and Media Relations Specialist / Executive Director of Ceremonies and Milestones, Emil Williams Jr. Emil, it's been a pleasure as always.
Indeed, Matt. Until next time.
We should do this again soon. I'm going to get ready to close things out here. I appreciate everybody checking in today. Don't miss out if you missed some of today's broadcast. It is our hope that it will be available on youtube.com/USBC or Bowl TV. See if maybe if I told people the right website, they know where to go. That is youtube.com/Bowl TV. Check that out. Until next time, Matt Canizaro and Bill Williams Jr. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.